Good day, open hearts, and thank you for being here at Ixchel Energy. I know it's been a while. I did do a video for June, and it was by June 5th or June 8th. I was not able to upload it. YouTube would not let me upload the video. So by June 10, I think last week, I said, oh, forget it. So I just skipped that one. And today, I have to just say it's been about 5 days that I'm getting this guidance to come in and talk. There's a lot of hype about the very big gate coming in this weekend, and it is pretty gigantic for the solstice and the moon and the sun. It's like this, so we have so much support for this passage that is like, it's incredible how much support is gathering for us, the humans, to go through this passage that we're gonna enter so that we can continue our newness towards the end of 2020. And I do say newness because like I've been saying all for like months already, we are in the new. Okay, so if you looking out and see the craziness of the news and the terrible separation and the divisions, is because these are still echoes playing, and echoes playing. The projections from our egos are still playing and playing, and they will last for as long as people want to play these projections. So I have been trying to just hold the highest frequency available to me at the moment. It is not easy some days, but I make sure that I always allow myself to feel what I'm feeling and come back and bring it up again, okay, and hold the space, because I know that eventually we will all see that we are not separated, we are not divided. It's all of us are walking into this unity consciousness that it may take us a couple of years or couple of decades, but this is where we are going now, and there is not turning back. When I tune in into this big gate coming in, and what do I come and talk to you about? What came up is death, to talk about death. And I don't know why, but that is the theme that has been coming through. And like I always tell you, I am not talking to you from some other perspective other than me. This is my knowingness. This is my experience. And what I have experienced is, yes, the death, we see a lot now for the few months already, for 2020. It really got very intense. The death of people. We've seen the death of systems, the death of collectives, people that were assembled together for a certain goal are falling apart. This committee, this group is dying. So we are seeing death in many levels. But I know this is like a cliche, death doesn't exist. But what I have experienced is, it really doesn't. It's a cycle. It's just a cycle. So death is just a point in that cycle where you have birth here and you have death here, but it's just a cycle. Okay, it is never ending. You cannot end a frequency, a state of expression that you are. You cannot finish that. So when you come in as a baby, you come in to express source light, because that's where we'll come from. We might come from the one before, this time around may have been somewhere else in another galaxy or another planet, or may have been here in our divine planet, but we coming in as a new experience. We're not coming in with the same body, we're not coming in with the same personality. We're coming in as a new expression of divine source, which is Janina. You might be Sarah, or you might be James. So that is the divine expression of the divine that came as that. So that is birth. That's one point. So then we move through the cycle. Okay, so we move and we experiment. You know, we have children, some may not have children, some might go to this career, some might do this job, so that the experimentation and all the learning, the expansion, that's when we go through the stories and the belief systems and the schoolings and the taking away the belief systems and all that. So that's we're experimenting, we're expanding. And then it's like we're coming into a state of our life that we start integrating all these lessons, all these stories, all these relationships, all these experiences. So we integrate that, and if possible, if you do your work, you become in a total state of gratitude for every single experience, regardless of how you perceived it at the moment. So you integrate that, and then once you integrate that, you know, you continue the cycle. So you go through this other point where that after we integrate all this, there's also a transition. So that is death. It's just a transition. You move from this frequency to a different frequency. This is a recalibration, because of course you leave the physicality, you leave this body, so you are not at this frequency anymore. So when you move up higher, because you don't have the weight, the density of the body, you go higher because you are not anchored to this body, but you don't stop existing. The expression that you had as Janina might not be anymore in the physicality, but the expression continues indefinitely, forever and always. That expression, that line continues. That's why some mediums are able to connect to the people that have passed, because that expression continues infinitely, and it's just there in a time and space where that is all stored. It's there. However, the essence that was this Janina doesn't stay anchored to this line. This essence can go and explore again with other lives, could come back in the cycle as another expression. So then it comes back as a female, it can come back as a male, it can come back as white, it can come back as black, as a red, as all kinds of brothers and sisters. That's the reason we have so many races. We have so many races so that we have so many different expressions and so many different ways of expanding and learning and experiencing humanity. That's one of the reasons we have so many different choices to come back and express. So when you transcend, you know, you move through the veil. It just means that the cycle is, you know, after you integrated this timeline, you come in and you transcend. You come up here and you are not longer at the same frequency than you were over here. Okay, some people might still be here, but you know, might be here. A lot of people are up here already. So what I wanted to say is the pain that is there when somebody transitions, because the physicality is no longer with us. We cannot feel the hug, we cannot feel the arm, you know, the eyes, the face, but the frequency is absolutely available to us to connect. So when you are in the supermarket and then you see you know, the flowers, or you see something that reminds you of your mom, and you say, oh my God, this is my mom's, let me call her and tell her that I have, or the brand of, I don't know, butter that she liked it, or the kind of onions that she always asks you to pick up for her, and you feel like calling her to tell her, I found the onions, you want me to get some for you? And then you remember, oh, she passed, she's dead. That's when we're up here, when you remember her, oh, I found the onions, and so she's here, and you come up here, right? And then you remember, oh, she's dead. And some people feel like death is an ending, it's gone, so you come down here. So when we are in this, with this big space here, it's very difficult to feel our loved ones. But if you say, oh, let me call her, I have the onions, and then you're like, oh, because you came up with this love feeling of this person that you love so much and you want to call them to tell them you have the onions there, if you can say, oh, I forgot, she transitioned. Let me just, now you don't have to call. You can just ask a question. Hey, Mom, I just found the onions. Can you believe it? I just thought of you. And then instead of jumping down, falling down, you're going to jump up a little bit, and you're going to come to a level where you can actually communicate. And a lot of people feel like they're making it up. This is just lies, it's my imagination, it's just a crazy thought. It is not a crazy thought, because in that moment when you say, oh my God, that was the car that my father loved, and then you remember that emotion picked you up here. And then if you continue that, just tell him, oh my God, Dad, did you see that car? And I'm telling you, you're going to receive an answer right there and then. Like, yes, honey, I saw it. Did you like the rims? Did you see the color of the seats? You can pick it up right there. The only thing is you have to catch it there so that it doesn't, when you go, oh, he's dead, he's not longer here. So you're already, because you are the creator of this whole experience, you already close the door and say, oh, he's not here anymore. So you lower it. So I don't want to dismiss the painful feeling of not having the physicality, but the suffering of years of suffering is something that we don't have to go through, because it is only a cycle that we go through. And when from the expression, the experimentation, we go with the integration, and then we go to the transcendence. It just, it's like the cloud. There's a cloud. The cloud never dies. The cloud transforms. The cloud transforms into rain. It could be snow. It could be vapor. But the cloud in the sky never dies. It just transforms. So the energy of this person, the frequency, the signature, and I particularly believe that once this frequency leaves the body, it takes about 3 days for everything that is a shared love experience that this person had in the heart, all the love that was given and all the love that was received in any of this person's relationships, it's poured into each other's hearts by the second, third day, and you feel it. If you're paying attention, you will feel that connection, because that is never lost. Okay, so next time that you go around and you feel like you miss somebody, you just talk to them. Just say, oh, I wish I could call my mom. You don't have to call now because you don't need the phone. You can just use your like a telepathy and talk to your mom, talk to your dad, talk to the neighbor that you like so much when you see the flowers that she liked you to pick up for her. So it's just a transition, okay? It's a cycle. Death, like birth, is not real. It's a cycle, and it's a cycle that we have been in because it's one of the best ways for us to learn and grow and expand and experiment and play in different roles. So if we were eternal like we are, and we always have the same personality and ego, we will not really expand and grow and have all different experiences. So that's why we come to a process of integration, and then we move through the veil and recalibrate our frequency and move up. Okay, so when we are born, we recalibrate and come to the physicality. When we pass, we recalibrate and go up a little bit, but it's not real. Death is not an ending. So with that, I leave you. I hope this gives you some peace in your heart. Remember, we are the angels. Thank you for likes, shares, and subscribes. As always, divine blessings. Namaste.